Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 116. I'm Evan,
I'm Ja.
and this is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. Uh, how are you this Monday, Ja?
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing good. That's good to hear. You're lucky you don't have a high definition camera. Uh, I'm doing good as well. I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day. Uh, man, some some good basketball action from last night.
Yeah.
Not that you saw any of it, but um, I was, you know, like I was saying, uh, yeah, some good basketball action last night. A lot of teams needed some wins. It's coming down to the wire in this last part of the NBA season, so it was go time. So let's get into it. First, starting off with the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. KD did play in this game. Uh, and man, but so KD didn't play the first quarter of this game. I guess they have him on a minute restriction, so they want to preserve his time as much as they can if it is a close game.
Yeah.
So they chose to not play him for the first quarter. And in that first quarter, the Suns were the ones that had the advantage. They were the ones up against this Nets team. A good lead, not too big, not too small, but a good lead against this Nets team. And then second quarter hit. Nets kind of got it together towards that end of that second quarter. And then the third quarter hit, and the Nets you could see they kind of getting rolling now. And they kind of getting it rolling. And the fourth quarter hit, and yeah, it became like the Blake Griffin show. And yeah, after that, in that fourth quarter, they was able to hold on this lead and get this win against this Phoenix Suns team.
Well, yeah, but let's talk about the fact that Kevin Durant comes back and he does what, like as if he never got injured, man. Doesn't it look like that to you sometimes? He looks like he
Yep.
he just is so effortless. You know what I mean? So, and the way he was doing it, and him and Kyrie put on a show. But then, just like what you said in that fourth quarter, it became more the emphasis of Blake Griffin thinking he was back in Detroit when he became an all-star.
Yeah,
Not like
yeah,
that.
Blake was doing a lot in that fourth quarter.
Yeah. Bully ball.
Yeah, he was bully balling. He was making plays, setting up teammates nicely, and yeah, he really took command of that game in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, however, for the Nets, it was Kyrie.
Yes.
It was Kyrie. You already mentioned KD, who put up 33 in three quarters. Just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Kyrie was the main catalyst. He was making the plays. He was scoring the ball. He was attacking. He was the one being aggressive. He was setting up his teammates. And you've seen more of Kyrie set up his teammates throughout this time period of James Harden being out.
Yeah.
And he's kind of had to set into that role, and he's kind of embraced that role.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the Nets played great basketball last night. The Suns, every time they tried to get within reach, every time they tried to take over and take command in that third and fourth quarter, the Nets would just pull away and pull away.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can see that. Phoenix always fights within these quarters. They're a fighting team. They know how to bounce back, especially offensively, because dang, look who they got. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre, like obviously, like
Yeah,
that helps to show you the scoring load right there of what they got. But it's just like when you're going against these teams like the Brooklyn Nets, who could get on the roll more quicker, or like what I could say, for example, Dallas or whatsoever. These are offensive oriented teams, so they have the opportunity to just go out of nowhere and go on a run and extend leads when they already have them. And I think that's the reason where the Suns defense needs to come into play more. But against this next team, KD, Kyrie, there's no way stopping them.
Yep, no way to stop them. A high scoring affair offensively, and it was the Nets taking the win, extending their first seeded lead in the Eastern Conference.
Team in New York.
Well, I mean, come on now. But not the hottest team in New York.
Okay, not the hottest team, but the best basketball team in New York. There we go.
always gotta find a way to just get
I'm
around.
just
Hate on the
saying.
Knicks.
I'm not
Anyway,
hating on the Knicks. I'm just saying the fact.
hey, agree to disagree. All right, going on to the game right before that, the first game of the day, the Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets. Kemba and Brown to return for this game, although, the Hornets. It felt a different energy from this Hornets team. It felt like from the get-go, this was kind of their game. And even though the Celtics got within reach a few times, even though the Celtics were kind of in range in striking distance, kept it close enough for them to make an attempt. The Hornets just had this game really from the start.
Well, yeah, man. You allude to it so much. The Celtics, they always have been, as of recently, they always been having these spurts in which they look like they have an opportunity to take a game over or to take the lead or something like that. But yet, again, you got to have that energy from the beginning of the game instead of carrying it at the end of the game,
Yeah.
because these games are important, and that's what they did. Just like what you said, the Hornets, the energy, the style, the play that they came out with, it just like you knew that they wanted this game from the jump. Meanwhile, the Celtics was like probably like, I'm not gonna say they were like this, but if you from a perspective, from my perspective, if you see the way they probably started off lackadaisical, like they thought they was gonna get the game, and they was trying to like just brag it off like as if they was just the better team. But like sometimes you could get beat. You could get beat if you're not humble enough.
Yeah, the Celtics had a slow start to this game, and they got out, finally woke themselves up, and they played well in that second and third quarter, but they were trading buckets with the Hornets team. And when you had a slow start like they had in that first quarter, that's not the way you want to play. When you were down big, you were down 20 the game, the Hornets were up 23-8 in that first quarter. At
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah, you can't do that in games. We always talk about it, like you know what I mean. If you're trying to look to take back over a game and gain a lead or something like that, one thing you get, two things you there's two things. There's things you can do and things you can't do. The things you can do is obviously keep it in range, keep it close, and this other thing is you got to learn how to play your defense, because the offense can matter, but if you're exchanging back is constantly with them and you are looking like to get back, try to get a game back, then what you think is going to happen? The team that has already got the upper hand on you right now, that you're trying to gain the lead from, they're still having an advantage because of the fact that they're continuing to score baskets, even though they're way up and you're trying to get back into this game. It makes no sense of why you keep trying to exchange baskets if your whole purpose is to win the game. That will not win you the
Well,
game.
well, it wasn't like they was trying to exchange baskets, but they just couldn't play defense against this Hornets team. I mean,
Exactly.
four people over 20 points against in this Hornets on this Hornets line on this Hornets team. Miles Bridges, Rozier,
Mhm.
PJ Washington, and Devontae Graham, all over 20. Celtics really couldn't stop them.
And those are their best players too. Their top players
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
team.
the top four players.
Oh.
So yeah, and unlike so many times Celtics they got off slow and it takes some time, and then the fourth quarter hits, they get to the run. Well, that wasn't the case this time. It started off slow, got it going, but then the fourth quarter hit, and it was the Hornets' time, and they just ran through them in that fourth quarter and ended this game.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing else that needs to really be said. You took the words right out of my mouth. The Hornets got it.
Yep. Big win for this Hornets team as they're trying to get out of that 8th seed in that play-in tournament. Big loss for the Celtics as they are now, even though they have the tiebreaker, they are tied with the Miami Heat for 7th. And Boston does not want to be in that play-in game.
Time to change your hot take, but yep.
12 games left. All right. Other games around the league. Anything you'd like to go over? Anything you'd like to talk about?
I like to quickly go into the Bucks versus Hawks, and again, of course, no Trae Young out with injury, of course, but this Bucks and Hawks team were really staying together along with each other. Once again, in that fourth quarter, I don't know what it is, but the Hawks found a way to just go on a spurt. I don't know what it was, but
I'll tell you what it was.
Lemon pepper.
No, it was not lemon pepper.
Oh,
Bogdanovich.
Yep, Bogdanovich. He starts. The Hawks had a barrage of threes within that last quarter, and it started. And he was like the main recipient of it. Bogdanovich. He was pouring threes. Then Lemon Pepper started pouring threes, and then they started attacking the basket, and they just started. And then you see it goes from a close game to it looked like they trying to make it into a blowout the last minute. Like it was crazy, man. And the Hawks just went on to win this game with that big fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this Hawks team, the way they've been playing basketball, back-to-back games, they didn't have Trae Young, and they get back-to-back big wins against two Eastern Conference foes, one in the Miami Heat, who is very close to where they are in the standings.
Yeah.
And against this Bucks team who are trying to get second in the East. So very impressive wins by this Hawks team.
Yeah, man, just legendary win by this Hawks team. The way and the flow that they're playing with. Again, you always allude to it. I'm not gonna say the coach's name. I can't say it. Coach Nate.
Come on.
No,
Sound it out. Come on, Josh. Sound it out. Sound it out. You can do it.
And let me say something. Let me not say that. But Coach Nate has this team playing like how we actually saw them in the beginning of the season before it just went up and down, a playoff team. Because don't forget when they added Rondo before they shipped them off. When they added Rondo, you know what I mean? They added Gallinari. You said these are veterans who are playoff experienced kind of guys who you think could push them over the top, but it takes more than that. Sometimes it just takes one more simple change to change everything. And I think the Hawks culture, even though it's been a good culture, it just gotten better and it's hyphen to a more serious team with the way that they have been playing as of recently.
Yep. A. McMillan. Oh, what a job he's doing in Atlanta. Credit to him. Yeah, really credit to him. Who?
Nate.
Last name? One day you gotta do it. One day you gotta do it.
Yeah, whatever.
I believe in you, John. Come on.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he's babying me.
All right, it's not worse than what the Grizzlies is to Blazers, but let's get into that game.
The Grizzlies came out with a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
They came with a lot of energy. They came out firing. They came out scoring. There was nothing that you could really do. But, the Blazers being who they are, again, offensive oriented team, they always find a way to make some kind of run with down the stretch. And that's what they did. They came back, they hit big shots, they made it from a double-digit lead to a close game, close affair. And it came down to it, but as they looked like they were closing in the gap, Memphis just gains the advantage and just goes on a big run. Like their runs were in spurts. They went on a big run at one point. The Blazers came back once again, and they just went on their run again. And it just felt weird. And then it came to Dame and CJ trying to bring this game within reach, but always on the other end. Then John Morant gets a basket, and then Kyle Anderson grabs a big rebound and gets like his long arms, just gets it and just lays it up and in, and then Memphis just had it from there. You know what I mean? The Blazers, as much as they fought, they playing in the playing game. That's all I'm saying. I just love I don't know how you make Dallas do that to you. Like, I don't know how you make Dallas do that to you. Come back from being at the 12th seed to being the freaking surpassing you. Like, and then I can't believe you made Memphis do that to you. Like, all they got is Ja. Let me stop.
Yeah, let you stop. Please let you stop. Yeah. What's going on with the surprise team? The Blazers have not been playing well in the slightest.
Yeah, man. And Damon CJ, like, they're probably still doing their thing, but they disappointed me, man, because it's like the execution of play down the stretch is not looking good. It's just not looking good as of recently. And that's a surprising thing to say when it comes to the Blazers, and especially that backcourt. Because execution of play is their bread and butter when it comes out to closing games.
Yep. But in these past well, specifically with the Grizzlies, Dame hasn't been having this best shooting nights against this Grizzlies team.
Yeah, man. He acting like as if he's playing against Cancun.
Or Drew.
Like Drew. Very true, Drew. Yeah, Drew.
Well, let me give you some numbers to go out in regards of this Blazers team. What you said?
Stats, bro?
Not like stats on players, just on the team.
Okay.
And it's not really a stat, but just listen. The Blazers have lost 5 games in a row. In their last 13 games, which I just researched, they have won 3 games. They are 3-10 in their last 13 games. They have lost 10 in 13 games. 5 in a row. They have dropped from the 6th to the 7th seed. Not only that, the Grizzlies are a half game behind them.
Man, the way you put it, what a drop off, man. What a drop off. And again, look, let me tell you something. We always talk about this. Me and you talk about this. Even though every game counts in the regular season, regardless, because of playoff situation or whatsoever, or unless if you're a team that feels like no matter where you start off at in the standings, you still have the best chance to beat anybody, anywhere, anytime. But you talk about these games being so crucial, so important, especially with everything that has occurred this season with the playing game and stuff like that. Every game matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a time where you could go on these stretches and it will not affect it will affect you, but it wouldn't affect you or have such an impact as it is if it's on the other part of the season. And that's what I'm talking about. The Blazers are at a bad stretch at the wrong moment in time. You're not a top 4 seed. You're in a situation in which the seedings, the standings fluctuate so much because I said it before, the margin of error is so small for these teams to have some kind of error, and especially in this part of the season, which the standings are so close, and people are just, if one win could bump you up by this amount of standing, by from like freaking 7th to 3rd real quickly and stuff like that, you just cannot go on a bad spell at this time. It's just not good. You could probably do it in the beginning of the season or midway before the All-Star break, but you cannot do it now. It's too important.
Oh, yeah, something has to be done in Portland. It has to be done quickly because they are falling. All right. Any other games?
Yeah. Golden State versus Sacramento.
Sorry.
And no De'Aaron Fox, of course, because health and safety protocols, but The Warriors took this. The Warriors took this so easy. Like it was nothing. Like it was taking candy from a baby, bro. Like, they had
Or
the
so,
advantage.
or
Huh?
so you would think.
Oh yeah. Dang. I thought I woke up for a second. Um the
Oh yeah,
Kings,
man.
the Kings
Jeez.
made this a game. A
Yeah,
king
the
made this a game.
Warriors.
I don't know how. Oh, okay, that's disrespecting the Kings players because they're really talented individually. They're really talented individually.
This is not 1-on-1. Come on, man.
All right. But yeah, but like it was a close game from start to finish. The Kings kept up with this Warriors team, unlike what we thought. And Buddy Hield had it going. Harrison Barnes had himself a game. And this whole Kings team, of course, offensive orientated. They were just keeping up with. They were just exchanging baskets with this Warriors team. They're straight up, and it came down to the closing moments. But here's one specific play that just sums up how the Sacramento Kings are. I believe Golden State had the ball, and then I don't know who steals it from the Kings, but somebody ends up making up a big steal. I believe it was Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield comes up with a big steal, and you know what happens? The moment he's about to go up, the ball hits off his knee and goes out of bounds. If that doesn't sum up the Kings to you, I don't know what other play will. And this is in a crucial moments in which I think they were down by 2 and had the opportunity to tie up this game. And wow. And then, Rashawn Holmes getting blocked by Curry. Curry does that. And then Harrison Barnes Okay, well, Harrison Barnes is nice, so I can't say that. But Harrison Barnes missed
Bad play. I'll say it. Bad play.
ISO game. It was just like, man, I'm telling you, man, the Kings' execution and everything's. I'm done.
Hey, you could tell Luke Warren drew that up. Oh my goodness, man. This Kings team. I give them some credit playing without De'Aaron and taking it this far to the Warriors, having the opportunity to win this game. They played well tonight or last night. So we gotta give them credit for that.
The ball hit off his knee. What the hell? I'm not gonna lie, let me stop laughing because that could happen to me. But I was like, yo, the moment they get one bright hope to do something, son, that just goes wrong.
Oh man.
Nah, that was
really just sums up the Rockets season. Matter of fact, I hope you showed it.
Well, both, but it's not the Rockets, it's the Kings. But
both. I mean the Kings, yeah. But yeah, remember the play from earlier with the Rockets and the Timberwolves game a month ago? This Kings team, man. But yeah, Warriors take the win. Curry, I believe I saw something that said that he has the most 3-pointers in the month of April ever, with like 80, something like that. That's just absolutely insane. And he had another great night last night, even though he kind of went a little cold late in that fourth quarter, missing free throws, having a turnover.
But hey,
he key turnover to Buddy Hield.
Yep, and
that didn't amount to nothing.
Well, hey man, at least he blocked the center.
Come on, Rashawn.
But hey man, look at you see, I'm telling you, this luck, man, it could never run out. The man's just doing lucky things. Like most threes shot in the month of April. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, and now the Warriors and the Spurs are tied in terms of games, but the Spurs do have the tiebreaker, so the Spurs currently are the 9th seed.
It doesn't matter. They're still gonna play each other in the playing game.
Well, if the Spurs somehow get to the 8th, or the Warriors somehow get to the 8th,
they just gonna end up losing to Dallas. We've been through this, man.
If Dallas drops,
What if Dallas not dropping? Portland dropping, not Dallas.
So then they're not playing Dallas. They'll play Portland or Memphis.
Okay, I give them a chance against Memphis. Portland, hell no.
How Portland's playing now, I give them a chance. But all right, real quick, in that Pacers Magic game, the game in which the Pacers blew out the Magic by 19. It was an unfortunate injury that occurred. And I want to say what was the injury?
It looked to me, I saw blood from the ankle, or like
Yes,
in the ankle area.
it was sometime in that first quarter, I believe. It was
I
sometime in
believe,
that first quarter,
yeah.
and Devin Kennedy. I think that's how you say his last name.
Look, bro. I've been butchering last name, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But let me see. Yeah, you could say Kennedy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kennedy.
yeah.
Sounds like
Devin
that.
Devin Kennedy on the Orlando Magic team suffered a severe leg injury in that first quarter. Kind of landed awkwardly, and immediately went down. Immediately had to cover it,
Yeah,
because I believe once, like you break something or tear something like parts of your body and you visibly see it,
yeah,
that triggers like a reaction in your
yeah.
brain to like see like, oh, this is not supposed to how this not how it's supposed to be. So you immediately feel
You freak out.
pain.
Freak out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like immediately feel pain. So that was kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some say like kind of like how Paul George,
Broke his, yeah.
yeah, broke his leg.
Yeah, because it was crazy. Because I at first I thought it was something with his knee. I thought his knee went into place, but then I looked. I was like, wait, but then I saw like drip blood, like just leaking or dripping.
Yeah, that was bad.
Then that's when I knew. I was like, wait, whoa, is that blood? I was like, oh nah, I think he broke something in his ankle. It was it had to be like a compound fracture, or however they put it.
I I don't know what it was. All I know is that was kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I don't even think did they play the replay.
They did, only like one time or two times. But yeah, that sucks for him. I know he's a young player and should get some reps on this Orlando team. And you never want to see an injury like that from anybody.
Yeah, man. Again, injuries are part of the game, but there's certain things that you just don't want to see, injuries that you don't want to ever hear about, things like this. And let me be honest, I don't know who Kennedy is. This is my first
Devin,
time. Devin Kennedy is, or this is my like I never heard of him before. This like I just learned about him through this injury, and I just hope he gets well.
yeah, praise up, Devin Kennedy. Hope he has a speedy recovery. Hope he gets back soon. But all right, I guess on to brighter notes. It is prediction time for tonight's action-packed basketball games. So let's get into it. First, starting off with the Atlanta Hawks up against the Detroit Pistons.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, the defending champions Lakers going against the Orlando Magic.
Disneyland.
Lakers. The Thunder going up against the 76ers.
Sixers.
Sixers. The Spurs going up against the Wizards. Red hot Wizards.
Washington, the capital.
Wizards. The first primetime game of the night. NBA TV, speaking of red hot. The Phoenix Suns will go up against the red hot New York Knicks.
I gotta go against your hometown for this one, bro. I got Phoenix.
Yeah, think about that too. I might have to agree. I have to think that this is where the streak comes to an end. even though Phoenix has lost back-to-back to the Celtics, and the Nets, I feel like they got to bounce back and get this win against this Knicks team. But we shall see. We shall see. The Cavs going against the Raptors.
This is going to be a bad one. Raptors.
Well, Raptors have a chance to get in the playing game. Raptors. The Bulls going against the Heat.
The Heat.
The Heat. The Jazz going against the Timberwolves. Jazz looking to avenge their loss last time against the Timberwolves.
I got the Jazz with this one.
Same, I got the Jazz. The Clippers going against the Pelicans. Clips. The Grizzlies going against the Nuggets. Grizzlies. And lastly, primetime game of the night, NBA TV, 10 o'clock. Luka and his Dallas Mavericks going up against the Sacramento Kings.
Well, then Dallas lose to Sacramento?
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be the outcome for tonight. So, yep, I got Dallas.
Yeah, I got Dallas as well. All right, I think it's time to wrap things up. Notable thing that I want to talk about is Suns and the Clippers have the same record or the same amount of games back behind the Jazz, which is 2. So tomorrow's or tonight's games could be big. The Clippers and the Suns.
Yeah.
Determining the 2nd and 3rd seed, because if both teams get out of that first round, they will meet in the 2nd round, and home court advantage is going to be vital.
Oh, Clippers versus Suns matchup! Wow, it will be amazing. Pat Bev versus Evan.
They will have to first get out the first round.
Yeah. Well, we know what the Clippers do, so it doesn't matter if they even advance; they're just gonna end up.
Hey, new year, new coach, Ty Lue.
Same old Clippers.
We'll see. We will see. Hey, it's getting that time.
I know it is.
It's about to hit exciting time of basketball. So stay tuned. That being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And also follow IG and our TikTok down in the description below.
And once again, I am Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.